Just for Laughs presents... The American founding fathers built their nation on strong principles, bravery, and sacrifice. Now it's up to the next generation to assume the responsibility. Unless something else came up. And they wanted to take delivery now and promised to pay for it later. This is The Decline of the American Empire, hosted by John Oliver. It's your patriotic duty to watch.
Yes, Canada. Yes, Montreal. Yes, yes. Good evening, Montreal. Welcome to the decline of the American Empire. Oh, okay. Something I gather from that reaction you've been waiting quite a long time for. For America, let's admit it, the numbers don't look good. Over 9% unemployment, $14.3 trillion in debt. But you know what? Those are just facts. And at its best, America has never been about facts. It's been about belief. It's about looking at a fact and saying, no. No. I don't think so. Let's try something a little better than that. My favourite moments in life are the halftime speeches during American sports movies, where a team is about to get completely massacred by the opposition. In walks the coach, music swelling behind him, and he delivers a speech which lifts their hearts and gets them to achieve the impossible. You've seen these speeches. Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday. Denzel Washington in that other one. What America needs is, at the next State of the Union, a president to walk into Congress with a sports drink in his hand, throw it against the wall and say, "What was that? What just happened down there? Are you kidding me? Michigan, you call that productivity? Listen, if you want to just coast through life, go and live in Canada. At least you'll get free healthcare for doing nothing." Hey, Wisconsin! Stop phoning it in during the fourth financial quarter. You're LeBroning it out there. Stop LeBroning it. And Utah, what do you even do? You don't think the Dominican Republic won your place on the flag? Earn that star. All right, everyone, take a knee. Now, although it looks bad out there, and there are people watching us that think we're done, I don't know. Maybe they're right. Maybe we just hand the #1 spot to China. Maybe we do that. Or maybe we make them take it from us. Take it from us with their tiny hands. Because this planet is our house. It's our house. So let's get out there and show everyone why we stole this land from the Native Americans. Let's do this. Is it over for America? I don't know. What's the evidence? I can tell you one story that I think is illustrative of something. I was in Boise, Idaho recently for the first and, God willing, final time. And I saw something I will never forget. At the center of Boise, right on Main Street, there is this huge grey building. And on the front of the building is just one word written in golden letters. And that word is library. And then there's an exclamation mark. And I stood in front of that building for what felt like hours, trying to figure out what that exclamation mark was really trying to say. Was it, I know, I can't believe Boise's got a library either, but I think we have to learn to live with it now. They might be right. America doesn't need libraries. America doesn't need books. There are plenty of books in the world and plenty of people who've read them. They should stick to what they're truly great at, TV. Have you got any idea just how good the TV show Wipeout is. Wipeout is so good, America has finished television. When you watch Wipeout, you get that calm sensation wash over you as if you're watching a country doing exactly what it should be doing at this moment in its history. Because watching Wipeout is like watching the last days of ancient Rome. Oh, it's spectacular and it looks like fun, but deep down, I think everyone knows it can't last forever. And most countries would have stopped there, having finished something. But I guess there's that special quality in Americans, that pioneering spirit which throughout years has pushed them that extra mile to achieve the incredible. So instead of stopping with Wipeout, instead of doing that, they created a program called Downfall. Downfall was a game show. The difference, though, was that in Downfall, if anyone failed to win a particular prize, that prize was pushed from the roof of a 10-story building. Prizes like grand pianos, jet skis. It was taken off the air by ABC in America after just 6 weeks, presumably because it was simply too good. But think about what we lost that day. Because that was the biggest imaginable message to terrorists we could possibly issue. When you push a jet ski, from a 10-story building, what you're essentially saying to them is, there is nothing you can do to us that we are not already doing to ourselves. Pass me another jet ski. These people don't frighten me, I frighten me. Americans are heroes, all of them. And I'll tell you why Americans are heroes. They don't waste time overthinking things. Do you honestly think any other country could have put a man on the moon? Of course not. That is a stupid thing to do. Only America could pull that off. Because only America would send his friend up a few years later with a set of golf clubs so they could whack a few balls around up there. It makes complete sense if you don't really think about it. Most Guinness World Records are held by Americans. There's a very good reason for this, and that is that most Guinness World Records are ridiculous, and they are good at that. Only 3 human beings, for instance, have ever jogged across the Sahara Desert. Where were they from? Do you really need me to tell you that? Or in your hearts, do you not already know? 3 Americans jogging across one of the least hospitable places on Earth. iPods dangling out of their ears. Hurdling over refugees. And who did it? USA, baby, that's who. Woo! There's another one. They're everywhere. I wanted to see if this theory stood up. So I bought a Guinness Book of Records, which I in no way knew they still made. And I pulled out 3 records at random to see who had dominated each field. Record number 1 was this: most live rattlesnakes held in the mouth. Ooh. Huh. 10 is the answer to that unexpected question. Who did that? Jack Bibby. When? 2006. What country is he from? I'll give you a clue. It's got 2 syllables and it starts with M. That's right, Merca. Merca did it. Record number 2, oldest male stripper. Oh. Cherish the final few moments you have of not knowing the answer to this. He's 76. His name, Bernie Barker. Where's he from? This will not surprise you. Miami, Florida. That is supply and demand. That is capitalism at its best and worst. Record number 3, the Super Bowl. Largest gathering of people dressed as gorillas. Let me just give you the number first, because it's instantly overwhelming. 637. Think about that for a second. At that point, you are either importing gorilla costumes or making them on site, because no one world city has 637 gorilla costumes on the off chance that people will mobilize and require them at exactly the same time. Think about the logistics involved. When did this happen? 1999. Where did it happen? London, England. We did that! We did that! We did that! No one dresses up as gorillas better than us! Nobody! Nobody! Please, Canada, do not break that record. It is literally all my people has left.
More about the decline of the American Empire next. Decline of the American Empire's back, eh?
Here is something you're all going to be seeing a lot more of. An American who's been forced to come to Canada to find work. Please welcome Alonzo Bodden!
Yes, what's up, Canada? How you guys doing? You all right? You good? We're a mess, I'll admit it. My country, we got problems, we're a mess, but it's a fight. You got Republicans and Democrats. The one thing the Republicans can all agree on, that it's all the Democrats' fault. I was watching a Republican presidential debate. It was unbelievable. Then I got to thinking, oh yeah, I remember back in 2008 when everything was perfect. And the amazing thing is the Democrats go along with it. They accept the blame. Every time the Republicans attack, the Democrats give up. Can anyone surrender in a fight quicker than a Democrat? Even France looks at the Democrats like, man up, what the hell? Barack Obama is a beaten man. Sometimes he looks like an abused wife. Every time he tries to fight the Republicans, they slap his ass and he's like, it'll be different next time. No, it won't. They're gonna get drunk and slap your ass again. And then the Republicans took over Congress, all right? And I gotta give credit where credit is due. When the Republicans took over Congress, they went from powerful to Jedi. The Republicans are capable of Jedi mind tricks. For 2 years, Barack Obama was running around, I will not raise taxes on the middle class. I will raise taxes on the rich. The rich can afford it. They will pay, blah, blah, blah. Republicans were like, come here, young Obama. You will not raise taxes on the rich. He's like, I will not raise taxes on the rich. These are not the tax increases you were looking for. Oh. It is unbelievable that they questioned the president on being American. It's like the plot of a bad James Bond movie. You know, like they were in Africa and they found this smart kid and they sent him to secret Muslim terrorist school, you know. Then they snuck him into the United States through Hawaii, because hell, nobody's checking over there. But if I were hiding Muslims in the White House, would I really name them Barack Hussein Obama? Like, if I'm hiding Muslims, I'm not naming them Hussein. Be like, hey, I'd like you to meet my new friend, Leroy Jones. It is unreal. Oh, we can't let the gays get married. Gay marriage is equal. And the Democrats fight for the gays. Well, how about civil unions? How about if they just hang out together? No. Gay marriage, that's an issue right now. You're talking to me about gay marriage? My house is worth $8. I'm paying paying $3,000 a month for an $8 house, and you want to talk to me about gay marriage? I'll tell you my solution to gay marriage. If two gay guys want to get married and buy my house, there's going to be a wedding. That's right. It is everything. The Democrats just give up. The Republicans set the agenda, and the Democrats just lay down. The Democrats are soft on defense. They're not defending the country. Oh my gosh, they're not defending. What, are you kidding me? That Barack Obama signed the order to get Osama bin Laden. He signed the order to kill the #1 terrorist in the world, and you're soft on defense? You're still nice to people? Barack Obama's still humble? If I signed the order to kill Osama bin Laden, I'd be the cockiest man on earth. I'd just be walking to the press conference. Yeah, what's up? I got his ass, that's right. I got his ass, that's all me. Yeah, Barack's in the house, what's up? Hey. And it would be an amazing press conference because the reporters would be like, the president seemed amazingly black today. I love you guys, Canada. Thank you for letting me do this.
Canada, dissent is the highest form of patriotism, so please welcome the unbelievably patriotic Marc Maron!
Thank you. You know, a lot of people are talking about politics, but I think we should look at the subconscious of America. Porn, poker, ultimate fighting, and reality shows. That's what we feed our heads. Sex without feeling, fighting without rules, bluffing to make money, and entertainment by other people's pain. God bless America. We are a morally bankrupt, selfish, narcissistic country. I'm a very self-centered person. I almost killed 2 people 2 weeks ago. I did. I was driving down my street, minding my own business, texting. And all of a sudden, there were 2 guys in front of my car. And in that moment, I realized that texting and driving is really more dangerous than drinking and driving. Because at least when you're drunk driving, someone is driving the car. Look, folks, the future is not Mexican. I'm not racist, I'm nervous. And I don't think nervousness is wrong. If you encounter something that makes you feel awkward or uncomfortable, it's okay to be nervous. Nervousness doesn't become racism until you hear yourself say, "Oh, crap," and there's a lot of them. Then you're on a slippery slope. But I don't mind that. There's a lot of Mexicans, and there's going to be more Mexicans. Mexicans make a lot of Mexicans. It's part of what they do. They are actually the Catholic Church's last hope. The future is not Mexican, it's Chinese. And I think we all know that. And, you know, quite honestly, I've become obsessively fascinated with Chinese people. You know why? Because I really don't know anything about them. I mean, they've been in my country for hundreds of years. They've been a civilization for thousands of years. I don't know anything about them. I am literally obsessed. If I'm in town, like here in Montreal, anywhere there's a Chinatown, I will go to Chinatown. Just to spend an hour in a Chinese supermarket, walking by bins and boxes going, "What the hell is that? What is that? Are we eating that? Is that a bug? Is it a snail? Is it a dried fish? Are those rocks? What is that? Oh my God, look at these roots. It looks like a box of E.T. heads. They must fly those in." How many times do Chinese grocers have to watch white people hold things up and say, "Dude, what is that? Come on, eat it. You're high. Eat it. It's food." They eat it. But this isn't about food. It's about the future. Obviously, the future is Chinese economically. I have decided that we are all really just outsourced Chinese labor. And the best I can figure, our job is to eat and buy things at a lower price, putting Americans out of work because Walmart's right there. And how many of those people who shop at Walmart are the same people that said things like this about Obama? He's a socialist, he's a communist, but their NASCAR hats are made in China. They don't have any problem supporting a communist government if it's not theirs, and they make cool hats. But I think the future is also Chinese environmentally. Because if you read the studies on global warming, which exists, the jury's in, you don't have to argue that one. I know global warming exists. I live in Los Angeles. I know you're not supposed to taste air. But the reason I say the future is Chinese environmentally is that if you read the studies on global warming, if it continues at its current pace, all that will be left of the ocean is prehistoric toxic algae and mutant jellyfish. And if you think about it, the Chinese are really the only culture that knows how to prepare that properly. Thanks a lot. You've been great. Good night.
You deserve to watch more of the decline of the American empire. Canadians, let's laugh at the decline of the American empire.
If America has hit rock bottom, maybe it's time we stage an intervention for them. That we all surprise them and say, look, America, you're hurting yourself and you're hurting everyone around you. This needs to stop. But if that is to be the case, they need to qualify for an intervention. There are three main questions I looked up to see if you qualify for an intervention. These are them. Question number one, have they stopped caring about how they look? That's subjective, obviously. But I would argue, what is an Ed Hardy t-shirt if it is not a sartorial cry for help? A tiger throwing up a small village worn by a juiced-up Oompa Loompa. Question number two, do they have poor eating habits? I think their obesity statistics answer that question perfectly well. But if you need any more proof, Exhibit B, the KFC Double Down. The concept of using fried chicken as bread. And finally, have they run out of money? Have they run out of $14.3 trillion in debt? They've not just run out of money, they've broken the concept of money for the rest of the planet. Look, I don't understand much about economics. I've lived for 34 years on this planet, 3 elsewhere. And I still don't get it. To me, economics is like the Dutch language. I'm told it makes sense, but I seriously have my doubts. We are not preparing children by teaching them what the economy is now. We teach them about economics by giving them piggy banks that they can put their money in and then it'll be there for them whenever they need it. That is no longer how the system works. If we really want to prepare them for the world they're about to inherit, we need to give them talking piggy banks that they can put their money in, walk away from, and then return to have the piggy look up at them and say, I've got good news and bad news. The bad news is, all your money is gone. Me and the other piggies from the surrounding area pooled our money together for a series of calamitous investments around some very complicated credit default swaps. It was derivative stuff. I haven't got time to explain it to you now. The good news is, I'm fine. If we want to prepare them for the world, that is how we have to teach them. Our next comedian tonight is a Canadian, or as you are called in America, a hellbound socialist homosexual. Please welcome Marc Critch.
A lot of other countries can't tell the difference between Americans and Canadians. There are subtle differences. For instance, if you're walking on the street and you accidentally bumped into a Canadian, they would probably say that they were sorry, right? Like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be here. I mean, you bumped into me, but I'm sorry. It's my fault. I'm terribly sorry. Whereas if you bumped into an American, they might shoot you. It's a delicate balance between Canada and the States, you know? It's a yin-yang kind of thing. The top part is all kind of white and snowy and peaceful, and the bottom part is an asshole, just a big... We mind our own business in our house, and next door, there they are, with their hot tub going and their music blaring all night, throwing their beer cans out the window, their dog is shitting on our lawn, and there's nothing we can do about it. And like an asshole neighbor, you never really hear anything from them unless they need something, right? They don't even know we're here until like 9/11. Then all of a sudden they're banging on the door going, "Hey, Canada, I need to borrow your military." What? What the hell you need to borrow our military for? You get the biggest military in the world. We got like a Jeep and a green tarp. That's it. Use your own military. Come on, don't be a dick. I got attacked. But I was gonna use my military because we're gonna do some shoveling. How long were you thinking you're gonna use it? Look, we're looking for a 7-foot-tall guy on dialysis. It'll be like a week, I swear. We sent our army over, we weren't even ready. We didn't even have any of the tan-colored uniforms, no. We went to war in Afghanistan in their little green Canadian army clothes, you know? It's like trying to invade Yellowknife dressed as a palm tree. It's not gonna work. You stand out, you know? But we did our best. We didn't want to be rude and not go to the war after they invited us. So there we were, trying to mount a sneak attack on the Taliban. And Osama's looking at his cave going, "Wait a minute. Does the desert look particularly lush to you today? Amir, did somebody put down sod?" "Sorry, just us. Sorry, we're just kidding. Americans put us up to us. I'm sorry." But you knew we were there and we were committed, right? Because you knew we were committed to that war, because what did we do first thing? We went to Kandahar and we opened a Tim Hortons. Right? Oh yeah, that's Canadian for you. Yes, I'll die for my country, but I need a coffee first. Jesus. I was there. I with this show over there. I was the only guy in line at Tim Hortons without a gun. Don't see that very often. Maybe Alberta, but still. But there are subtle differences between the US and Canada. Like, we were the cool guy, right? Like, it's kind of okay to smoke pot, you know? And we don't mind same-sex marriage. In the States, that's all they think about 24 hours a day. Well, you know something? Lately, we're becoming a bit of an asshole lately, aren't we, Canada? Doing little weird things, getting more American, having little American-style lawsuits all the time. And this is something you're going to get mad at me now, but just recently, a couple weeks ago, there's this guy from Quebec who sued Air Canada for $1 million because he couldn't order a 7-Up on an Air Canada flight in French, right? And I thought, well, yeah, bilingualism is important. That's what our country is all about. Yeah, you should be able to order up the 7-Up in French on an Air Canada flight. But then I went to a corner store here the other day, and the word for 7-Up in French is 7-Up. That guy's just an asshole. Right? This is not... And plus, buddy, look, you didn't get shitty service on an Air Canada flight because you're French. No, you got it because you're on an Air Canada flight. It's what they do. Right? Order it in English, you're still not getting it when she goes by her little cart. Doesn't matter. That's English and French right there. But we are changing, and not in a good way. They're changing, and we're changing, but I don't know, I'm worried, because they elect Obama, their first black president, and we give a majority to the whitest man ever born. Right? I mean, I'm not saying this guy's like George Bush, but I'm pretty sure he has a poster of George Bush on his bedroom wall. You know? This guy's an asshole. And we're just going like, oh, it's okay, whatever, it'll work out, whatever you want to do. Like, we're privatizing healthcare, and we're getting hawk-like, and we're building more prisons, and we're becoming the bigger asshole. And I don't know if I like it or it scares me. Because I don't know what the competition is now, you know? Things are changing, like, you're not really worried about the next big empire being China, because let's face it, they've already taken Vancouver. It's fine. They're nice people. Canadian and a Chinese person bumped into the street, just be like, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. It's my fault. I'm so sorry. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Until they just would starve and die, and there'd be little piles of bones everywhere. And that'd be it, right? But maybe it's time for us to embrace it. You know, America is in decline. We're becoming kind of an asshole. So maybe we should embrace it. Maybe it's our time to go and knock on the house next door and say, hey, dickhead, there's a new asshole on the block, okay? And neighbor is spelled with a U. Yeah. And we want our hockey teams back, okay? Because you're broke, all right? And turn your music down. And one more thing, asshole spelled with a capital A. A, all right? Are you with me? We don't have to be afraid of them anymore. Wait a minute, are there any Americans here tonight? I'm sorry, I'm gonna go. Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry.
It's your duty as a Canadian to stay tuned for more of the decline of the American Empire. Decline of the American Empire. Beauty, eh?
America is a system of checks and balances, or nowadays, bounce checks written with massively overdrawn balances. With more, please welcome the brilliant Greg Proops!
Bonsoir, Montreal. Yeah, exciting to be here once again in Canada. Canada has so many things that America used to have. Things like, you know, an economy and the ability to buy a mortgage, banks and stuff like that. It's the first time in my entire career that I've wanted to be paid in Canadian currency. I don't want any pictures of dead presidents, man. Just birds and queens on the money. All I want to do is Luna Loon, Luna Luna, and a Toon Toonie. America takes a lot of guff, right? People are like, well, you're always starting wars. There's a good reason. Those are wars of liberation. We're liberating oil from countries that are hiding it from us. We're all about peace as well. You may notice that our president is conducting 3 wars and has a Nobel Peace Prize. You think when he walks into the Oval Office, the Peace Prize goes, I don't feel so good. I'll tell you something now. When we're not taking over the world anymore, when we're not running things, when China takes over, you're gonna miss us. Oh, yes, you are. You're gonna miss our tender loving. When an alarm goes off at 4:45 in the morning, all over Canada, wee, 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 wee. Wake up, Canada. Work harder, Canada. Now the news. Government great, according to government survey. Wee, 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 wee. Tonight's television program, manganese, the useful alloy. You are having too many baby girls, Canada. Stop having baby girls. If you have an ugly child, return it to the government center and replace it with an attractive one. Wee, 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 wee. Stop eating poutine. You are too fat, Canada. Stop eating donuts. And what is this hockey? Everybody meet for gymnastics at 6 o'clock. Obama came into the office with so much promise, right? In fact, he promised us hope and change. And it's kind of morphed over the last couple of years into, we hope someone rich drops some change. It may not have escaped your attention that this is a calamitous century. Greece failed, not the musical. How can a country that's given so much to Western society and been so influential on us fail, right? I mean, look at what the Greeks gave us. Geometry, philosophy, logic, older men mentoring young boys in a very intimate way. But we enjoy something that previous generations do not enjoy, right? Because there's so much tumult in the world. We enjoy this. When our grandparents start in about how hard the old days were, you can tell them to bugger straight off. In my day, we had the Depression. Grandma, Let me ask you something about the Depression, grandmother. During the Depression, did the government give $700 billion to the banks that stole it from us so they could steal it again? Is that what the New Deal was? You guys got roads and hospitals and infrastructure. We got an iPad that's lousy to watch porn on. And look at the cultural renaissance of the Depression. There was Duke Ellington and Barbara Stanwyck, Frank Capra, Christopher Isherwood, the WPA Project. We got Justin Bieber. We're coming up short on the cultural ledger here. But World War II was a show set, Don LaBouche, Grand Mayor. World War II is easy peasy lemon squeezy. First of all, you knew precisely who you were fighting because it was clearly labeled on the war. The world. Our last president, Caligula, and yes, we're lucky he didn't appoint a horse to the Senate before he left, told us we were fighting evil and evildoers. That's a trifle more complicated, don't you think so, grandmother? How do we know when we're done fighting evil when Frodo throws the ring into the volcano? Thank you very much and good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Our next performer is an Irish American, so as a British citizen, I don't know which side of him I want to oppress more. You're in for a treat. Please welcome Colin Quinn.
Oh, the British Empire. I admire the British Empire. I don't give a shit, even though it makes my relatives roll over in their graves, because at their peak, they controlled 1/4 of the world's population and land. This, by the way, is one of the littlest goddamn countries in the history of the world. How did they do it? It was not military might. They had something far more powerful. They had contempt. They tapped into countries' insecurities and their low self-esteem. They would show up in your country with polished boots, pressed uniforms, shined swords, and just walk around. Really? And this is where you live? Countries didn't know how to react. They'd be like, the British are coming, clean up. America, we're in trouble, it's true. Because you look at our friends used to be like England, France. Now our best friend is Afghanistan, like a bust-out junkie. That's the only guy we hang out with anyway. I mean, we go over there. You know, you go in, the doors, he's wearing Ray-Bans, the president, Karzai. You ever see his crew? They're like, come on in, man, shut the door. Just come on in, don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about the Taliban, they're finished. Don't worry about the Taliban, no. I'm not dealing. Sit down, move that shit off the couch. Let the guy sit down, man, it's America, let him in. Yeah, it's like a bar fight at this point gone bad. That's the problem. The world has become a bar. A few years ago, what happened? We get into the bar, you know, somebody sly-rapped us. Let's not forget that, you know. Somebody hit us, so we're pissed off, you know, in the bar. We're not in a good mood. Somebody tells us Iraq's in the parking lot, he's got a gun. We're like, what? He's got a gun? Let me go out and search this idiot. Hey, let me search you. He's like, you ain't going to search me. Yeah? So we won't let us search him. We start looking for our friends for the bar fight. We look for France, who's our friend now. Not even in the bar, outside having a cigarette, talking about us. America is too young for me. I never should have gotten involved with her, you know. She's Lafayette introduced me when I'm in a... Well, like Germany, you like to fight. You haven't had a fight in 50 years. We're letting you back in the fight. You love to fight, right? They're like, I don't wish to fight anymore. I have changed. The last fight, everyone ganged up on me, and I got the mother of all ass kickings. I'm not falling for that shit again, you know. We go outside. We're gonna search Iraq. We're like, Iraq, let me search you. He's like, you ain't gonna search me. He won't let us search him. We like, let us search you. We're gonna hit you, knock you out. The rest of the world's like, America's just saying he's gonna knock him out, so he'll let him search. Oh, what'd you do, man? You hit him, you know. Well, like, the guy's got a gun. Relax. Hold on. It's probably in his jacket. Maybe it's in his pants. I don't know. Then the whole world's looking at us like, America, what did you do? What did you do, man? We go, he was an asshole anyway, so we got, you know, keep your mouth shut next time. And Afghanistan starts getting tough. America can't even kick my ass. Well, like, you want us to come back over there and do that, huh? Russia goes, don't do it, America. I still have a limp from that little empire killer over there. Russia's like the guy, you know, like the guy at the bar that used to be the tough guy, but now he's kind of fat and drunk and old, but he's still threatening people like it's 25 years ago. It's like, I'll kick all your asses, don't forget Russia. Oh, shut up, Russia. You shut up, Russia. Why don't you shut up, Russia? Iran is like the weird guy at the bar. He's not that big, but something about him just creeps everybody out. You know you're gonna have to deal with him. He's by himself in like a 70s leisure suit with a ginger ale. The girls are going, that guy's creeping us out. You're like, I know, we're gonna take care. I know, yeah. You think he's with the Arabs, but they're like, I don't know that. Believe me, I knew when he was Persia, he was a nice guy, but I don't know this dude alone. And the truth is, America's not gonna change. We're talking about the debt thing right now. What do you think, we're gonna go be back to humble farmers from the 1800s digging? It's not gonna happen. We're gonna go out the way we came in. I have personal experience with this. When I worked at Saturday Night Live, that was owned by GE. GE wants to have a good, big corporation make money, but they make cuts to make more money. They get greedy, they cut NBC. NBC makes cuts, they cut from Saturday Night Live. Now, Lorne Michaels had to make cuts. He's not gonna cut the writers. Their fathers are like Harvard guys that run the country. He's not gonna cut the Teamsters, he'll end up in the East River. Then he's gonna cut me. So then, I can't go to my favorite restaurant and tip the waitress. Now she is broke, she's not making tips off people like me. She can't pay her electric bill, her lights get cut off, and GE has another bad year. And that's why anytime people finally get fed up and they march on Washington, everybody's carrying candle, because the lights are cut off, so you have to. Thank you guys very much, take care. All right.
More about the decline of the American Empire next. Decline of the American Empire's back, eh?
So it seems we've reached the end. Not just of the show, but of America itself. And I know that Americans might be watching this and getting angry, and to them, I simply say this: don't think of this as the failure of an empire or the end of the American dream. Just think of it as early retirement. Surprise. Surprise. We're all very proud of you, America. We're proud of what you've done. You've worked hard. You deserve to enjoy this. We've even chipped in and bought you a watch. It's Chinese. You'll like it. They own the concept of time now. So, America, it is time for you to do what you do best. Recognize that you have a massive problem and then choose to completely ignore it. Because sure, you're $14.3 trillion in debt. But why not just keep spending, America? After all, what is the real difference between being $14.3 trillion in debt and $17.3 trillion in debt? That's like the difference between a 450-pound man and a 470-pound man. Who cares? Either way, you're getting winched out of your bedroom window by paramedics with a crane. So enjoy it. Enjoy it, America. Why not have that double-down sandwich? Enjoy it. Bon appetit, America. Cover it in bread. In fact, better than bread. Substitute that bread for 2 more double-down sandwiches. Get out there, America, and do what countless empires have done before you. Just give up. For that must become the new American dream. In the words of John F. Kennedy, Americans must choose to give up. Not because it's hard, but because it is easier. Thank you so much for coming tonight.